and it'll look like as though that it'll maintain its major hurricane status up until it makes its way to Cuba and then downgrade to a hurricane. Then by after Thursday, well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, in the coming days. So once we improve the forecast, once the days and hours progress. Okay, so now let's go to Radar Omega and talk about what's going on for the next 3 days. Let me just change this here and voila. Well, if you're watching this or listening to this, you do have around temperatures for the early tomorrow morning. They'll be in the mid-single digits for your area. Let's take a look. Okay, so we got above average temperatures, warm temperatures throughout the Gulf states and much of the south, though. Mild temperatures in the Great Plains and parts of the desert southwest and the Central Valley, California. Chilly, below average temperatures would be in the interior parts of the Pacific Northwest, the Great Basin, the Colorado Rockies, and the Great Lakes region, and the Northeast. What it looks like. Let's take a look. So while it looks like as though that your temperature reading for tomorrow night will be as high as the upper single digits in degrees Celsius. Then for folks in the U.S., plenty of warm temperatures from places like the Central Valley, California, Southern California, the desert Southwest, South Central part of the U.S., and the Southeast. And some above average temperatures throughout the Great Plains and parts of the Central Mississippi Valley and the Ohio Valley too. Yet chilly weather would be a factor throughout the Cascades, the Rockies, parts of the Great Basin, the parts of the Great Lakes region, and much of the interior Northeast. So this is what the setup looks like at that time. For Monday morning for you, while you can get temperatures as low as the mid single digits in degrees Celsius. Let's see for Monday morning. Yeah, this is Monday morning. Plenty of warmth throughout the south, above average temperatures in the Great Plains region and parts of the desert Southwest, Central Valley, California. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cold, freezing air from the Cascades all the way down to the Great Basin, the Rockies, and as well as the Great Lakes region and the interior parts of the Northeast too. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Monday night, there's going to be a lot of warm weather. While for your area, you get as much as high as the upper single digits to low teens degrees Celsius. For folks in the U.S., plenty of warm weather from places like Texas, California, Arizona, Southern California, parts of the Nevada, like the Southern Nevada and Central Valley, California. Mild temperatures will occur throughout parts of the Great Plains, the lower to middle part of the Mississippi, the Ohio Valley. Yeah, cold air. Oh yeah, and even mild temperatures throughout the immediate coastal parts of the Pacific Northwest. Very very cold and freezing temperatures and below average temperatures in the Rockies, parts of the Cascades, parts of the Great Basin, and as well as folks in the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Let's take a look for Tuesday morning. While about as much as the mid-single digits degrees Celsius. Plenty of mild temperatures throughout places like Texas, the lower Mississippi Valley, Florida. A little bit of mild temperatures in southern Arizona to southern California and the Central Valley, California. Plenty of freezing temperatures in the Rockies, the Great Basin, parts of the Cascades, and plenty of chilly temperatures in the Great Lakes region, much of the Great Plains. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And finally, Tuesday night, it'll be very warm in Florida, Texas, and California, and the desert Southwest. Plenty of chilly temperatures throughout places like the Cascades, the Rockies, parts of the Great Basin, the northern plains, Great Lakes region, and the interior parts of the Northeast and New England. Mild temperatures will occur throughout the southern plains, mid-Mississippi Valley, parts of the Ohio Valley. Yep. Let's take a look at the dew point. Well, your dew point value will be in the mid single digits in degrees Celsius. So that means some overcast conditions. And let's take a look at the humidity throughout places like the Gulf Coast. Plenty of humidity and a good amount of humidity throughout the Great Plains, California, and a little bit in parts of Lake Superior. But not much though, but still. For tomorrow night, there will be plenty of humidity throughout the Gulf Coast, much of Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley. Good amount of humidity throughout the Great Plains and much of California, and some parts of the upper Mississippi Valley and your area wild. Oh yeah, and let's check for you. While your humidity value be in the mid single digits in degrees Celsius. I would say just about somewhat of fair conditions. So some clouds there for tomorrow night, but for Monday morning, you can get dew point values as much as the mid to upper single digits in degrees Celsius. So that'll be fun. Not really though, because it's too close to the air temperature at that time, which means possibly some wet weather. Let's take a look throughout the south. There's a lot of humidity there. Plenty of humidity in the central plains. Hold on a minute. All right, and now let's move on. Where's more humidity in the San Francisco Bay Area, Central Valley, California, and a little bit in the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest, and parts of the Ohio Valley too. For Monday night, a lot of humidity throughout places like the Gulf Coast, and a lot of humidity in the Great Plains region, parts of the Southeast. Some humidity will make as far as eastern Dakotas and Minnesota, and in parts of California. While your humidity value, your dew point value will be in the mid to upper single digits. Oh boy, yeah, you might get some wet weather for Monday. Tuesday morning, you can get dew point value as much as about the mid single digits in degrees Celsius. So that means that gotta be on the lookout. Yeah, for some wet weather. I mean, some fog, wet weather, but overall, like I would say, just mostly to overcast conditions, mostly cloudy to overcast conditions. Humidity is abundant in the south and the central part of the Great Plains, a little bit in Oregon and Central Valley, California, and as well as the. Hold on a minute. In parts of in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and a little bit in Minnesota. Finally, there will be lots of humidity throughout the South and much of the mid-Mississippi Valley, a little bit throughout the rest of the Mississippi Valley, as well as your area, while then the Gulf Coast, but a lot of which will be in Oregon and the Mid-Atlantic. But for you, while your humidity value be in the mid-single digits in degrees Celsius. This one will be quick, and we're going to make it to Cape. For tomorrow morning, the worst of convection, a lot of convection will occur throughout southern Texas, South Florida, and the central Gulf Coast. Good amount of Cape throughout the northwestern part of the country, and as well as a little bit of convection throughout the Great Plains, and a little bit in parts of the Great Lakes region and parts of the Northeast. Tomorrow night, lots of convection in Florida and the rest of the Gulf Coast. A little bit of Cape throughout the northwestern part of the country. Great Plains, lower Mississippi Valley, parts of the Northeast and eastern Great Lakes region. Convection for Monday morning will be abundant in Florida and southern Texas. A little bit of convection in the northwestern part of the country, the central third of the country, somewhat, and a little bit in the interior parts of the Northeast and the Great Lakes region. It's not much, but still, it's marginal. There's going to be a lot of Cape by Monday night in Florida, Texas, and a little bit in the Great Plains, somewhat slight amount of Cape in the lower to mid-Mississippi Valley, like Tennessee and Kentucky. A little bit in the Great Lakes region, parts of the Northeast, and parts of the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies. Tuesday morning, there will be a lot of Cape in Florida and Texas, but not in a dramatic fashion. Plenty of a little bit of convection throughout the rest of the South, the Ohio Valley, and the Great Lakes region, and a little bit in New England and Northern Rockies. Finally, by Tuesday night, there's going to be some convection in South Florida, Texas, a little bit of Minnesota, tiny bit of convection in the rest of the Southeast, and the rest of the Mississippi Valley, a little bit in the Ohio Valley, parts of the Great Lakes region, a little bit in the coastal part of the Northeast, and a tiny bit in the Pacific Northwest, though. Now let's take a look at what's going on with the radar. Oh man, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let me just make myself comfortable. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so this is as of right now, and we're going to roll into the early morning hours where not much is changing throughout the U.S. plus your area. While you're going to get clear conditions for tomorrow morning, as well as tonight. But there's going to be a lot of wintry weather in the Northern Rockies, parts of the Great Basin, Cascades, with mountain snow and valley rains, depending on the temperature profile. Coastal rains will also be in effect, as well as plenty of storms throughout eastern Florida, the lower Mississippi Valley, the southern plains, and a few parts of the Northeast will get some showers, maybe a little bit of some wintry weather in northern New Hampshire in the morning for tomorrow morning. Then going into the afternoon, all of that would get bit, still be a little bit widespread in New England in terms of the rain that's going to be there. But by tomorrow night, There's going to be a lot of wet weather to deal with throughout much of the southeast.